You want to? I got a caller.
All right,
We are calling the Shadow then.
Yeah, we're gonna call he says his name is the Shadow.
Yeah. Okay.
He said he wanted to be known as Chris, but I'm gonna use the Shadow.
Yeah.
That's way stupider.
All right, we are recording, so you're all good to start whenever you're ready.
All right.
Hey,
Hey.
welcome to the
Welcome
Random
back.
Hawks. Oh, Random Hacks podcast, or Seahawks. Something to do with Seahawks.
Yeah. Go Seahawks.
Yeah, Random Hawks.
Random.
Yeah.
So that's the name. We have the name of the show finally, which is nice.
And we have a special guest
Yeah.
tonight.
And my heart goes out to this guy,
Oh,
Adam Tiller.
the ambiguous. Oh, yeah. Our guest,
Oh, sorry, Andy
Harter.
Sorry.
Not Adam
I
Tiller.
forgot. This starts with an A.
Jesus.
My bad.
Did you mistake me for Adam Tiller? Never been so
Mock.
flattered
It's
my
a mock.
entire life.
It's a mock mistake.
All I do
Yeah,
is sit around and think about how I wish I was Adam Tiller.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, who doesn't? Man?
I got called Adam Tiller the other day by somebody, by Christine
Like
Scott.
as an insult? Or?
I don't know.
I'm going to put
I
Adam
took it
Tiller on the
personally.
poster and say our guest tonight was Adam Tiller.
That'd be so funny.
No, that would be terrible.
We're
Be
pretty much
disrespectful.
identical.
We would get like 4
Yeah.
more views, I think.
So how you been doing? How does it feel to be on a big time podcast with Joe Rogan show microphones?
I don't know. I love giving my opinions, so
Oh.
I figure
Yeah, what do you think of
if you want-
feminism?
if you want to hear my opinion, I'm so stoked to give it.
Oh,
especially
yeah,
to
like-
a microphone.
Yeah.
and
It's a random
camera,
hacks.
Like I fucking matter.
It's a random hacks. What do you think of the word hack?
Daryl Bivens.
Oh wow,
Oh!
Daryl Bivens.
Shots fired.
I loved Belle Biv DeVoe.
He's the guy that
He's
goes.
off to a bad start.
What does he do? Like,
Yeah. I just like to blow things. Blow your head off.
Oh no. Well, yeah, I see him a lot out at the mics. You know, he's
We'll just edit all my stuff out, right?
no,
We'll
no.
just-
There's no. Don't worry. Nobody. You don't need to edit things.
we
people
were gonna
don't
do a
watch.
lot of snippy with the
Yeah.
video.
It's
but
impossible. We don't know how to
can't-
edit.
We can't do it.
It took us
it's too
2
hard.
days to upload a video to YouTube.
2 days. What do you mean? It's been weeks now. But once we get it edited, we're gonna be
huge.
something. Yeah. I think it'll be good because people will come on and they'll be like, you say something bad, that's it. It's
Yeah,
whatever
I
it is.
Can't go back now.
Now
We
Daryl.
should have Daryl Bivens on next week.
I should have.
See
him
what
on.
he
down.
thinks of
Did
my
you hear?
fucking ass.
Yes.
He's like,
We could
"Fuck
start beef."
Andy. Who the fuck's he think he
Yes.
is talking shit?
Yes, we could have all kinds of people
Oh,
on.
and actually, that makes a sense. Like the name of the show is Random Hacks. It's not you and me who are the random hacks. It's the losers
me.
we get as guests.
No, we're the failed comics.
Yeah.
We're failed comics who. We're working right now towards having a guest on doing stand up. And then we have another person
Yeah.
on.
Never been done before on
Another
a
person
podcast.
on, like a panel of some kind, and then we judged the stand-up they did. It's kind of a new,
New idea. Never been done.
Wait. You're gonna have him do stand up in front of nobody and then
Yeah.
No, the
critique it?
3 people.
Yeah,
people
just
here.
three.
That's-
Yeah, yeah.
Or maybe
But
one
not
Zoom.
an audience.
No.
Well, that's 3. That's 3. How many do you need to have an audience?
How many? Yeah. Haven't
No.
you ever been
I
to
mean,
like the
technically,
Shanghai
you're right.
room or
Yeah.
something?
I
How many
mean,
people
you're
can't
right.
fit that many in here?
Yeah.
You know?
So you think doing comedy in here would be just like doing it at an open? You think
No,
it'd
not
be-
at
No,
all
no,
like
that's
it.
kind of what make it fun.
No.
Like, yeah, you kind of put them on the spot. Like, do a 3 minutes. It's got to be new.
The only thing about it is we never like the stand-up.
So it's like any mic then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just like we turn it into like a conversation about what they're like as a person or what their family was like, and then they can sit down and of course you ask them questions about it. You know what I mean?
Tell them how bad they were.
Yeah, tell them how
Yeah.
bad they were.
Got it.
But everyone knows that's what's going to happen.
Or I'll just tell them how good they were. I notice at mics, I laugh at Jason McBride, I laugh at Andy, I laugh at you, and then hot girls that I want to fuck. And that's
Right,
it.
yes. Right, I don't really know how to be mean anyways. Like I don't know. I wouldn't know how to I mean, I guess I could muster it up if I had to. You know what I mean? For someone who's like a really shitty person.
Yeah.
They're not going to want to come on, anything here anyways, probably, right?
Do you think we could get Dino Dad on the podcast?
Hell yeah, he'll come. He'll come just if I ask him.
Yeah.
He might come now. Do you want to call him up?
Yeah. hit him up.
He's good now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's becoming good.
When was he ever not good? Come on.
Thank you.
When was he not good? All of the beginning portion of the thing?
I knew if he
Oh, that
told
goes
that.
for me too.
Oh, sure, exactly.
You know, I was talking to James the other day. Wow, it's a long time ago.
James-
I say the other day, even if it was
James
like
Brown?
2 years ago. No, James Taylor down
James
at
Taylor, yeah,
907.
Sure.
And because you know, I sort of know Hans Kim, but not really. You know, it was like I got to know him a little bit, and then he got famous, and now you know I just
yeah.
But I was talking to James a while back, and I was like, "What was Hans Kim like when he started?" You know, what I mean? I was just curious, you know, because you know he's doing so much big shit. So I wanted to know like what his beginning was like. He was like terrible, you know, he was like so bad.
So he's come
And-
full circle.
Yeah, and then he goes, "Kind of remind me of you." That's what he said. He's like terrible,
Oh, yeah, he
like
was-
you.
Oh, yeah, he was very, very arrogant, and so that made people hate him. And then he
Yeah.
didn't back it up with punchlines.
Apparently
but
he-
had this. He had
yeah.
the swagger like he was a star.
Apparently he did a
Yeah.
"Do You Know Who I Am" one time in front of Adam Tiller,
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
That's funny.
like to somebody else.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's what's funny is I mean the first time I ever met him, he was already 8 years in. So first set I ever saw him do was at Volunteer Park, and I was like,
oh, is that right?
wow. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
you weren't around when he was all. Up
I
and
was
down?
around. I just didn't do the same mics.
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah. You were down south.
I mean, I'm not a Seattle guy or a Tacoma guy. Like most people are, one or the other.
You're a
know,
Renton
and
guy.
Well, I mean, half the time I go north, half the time I go south because I'm right in the middle.
That's cool that this podcast now is also not only starring Eddie Harter, it's also starring Hans Kim,
Yeah.
Adam Tiller.
Yeah,
Anyone
put
else
them all
mentioned?
on the poster.
Yeah.
Dino Dad.
Dino Dad,
Yeah.
Woody Allen. Just mentioned Woody Allen, so he was on. Who else was on?
Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peter. Yeah,
He's a great
Jordan
comedian.
Peterson finally released his comedy special we've all been waiting for.
Yeah, dude, he'd make a good one.
And I don't know why I hold my mic. I don't need to hold my mic, but I do anyways.
And you guys know who Tyler Fisher is? He does a great Jordan Peterson. He's
It's
been
like,
on,
it's
yeah.
like,
been on Kill
it's like
Tony
you
a couple
gotta
times.
make your bed.
Yeah.
It's like you have to. It's like
It's
the
like that, but
Christian,
a lot better.
Judeo-Christian.
Is it can't possibly be better than this? Yeah.
The woke liberal left doesn't make their bed.
This is the best impression ever.
It's like
It's not
Mickey
even.
Mouse.
It's even better. It's two
It's
Jordan
Mickey
Peterson.
Peterson.
Two Jordan Peterson. I was just talking to a friend of mine, and he lives in Toledo, Ohio. And once we get this rolling, I'll be able to tell Alex here. I'll be able to go, hey, pull up the thing, and
Yeah.
you'll just know what the thing is. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a Toledo traffic incident. And it's this lady and then this guy. There's snow everywhere in Toledo, and the car's passing. Apparently, he comes too close to her or something, and they both stop. She gets out of the car and runs over to his car, and she says, "Get out the car!" And the guy gets out of the passenger, and then they talk for a little bit, and then he turns around to get back in the car, and then she slaps the back
I
of his
know this
head.
video now.
Oh, you've
I've
seen
watched
it?
it 1,000
Oh
times.
yeah, so he lives in Toledo.
Oh, I come every time when her head hits the street. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh yeah, I should
bitch,
have.
don't be hitting men. All right, you're gonna get
Oh,
fucked
no,
up
you didn't.
every time. All right,
Yeah.
don't hit men.
Oh yeah, but
stupid.
I brought you on to just say how terrible it was that he did that.
Oh,
That's the reason I had you on.
oh
So we could
no.
all, so we could all
no,
agree.
I want to meet that guy. And
we can
buy
all
him
agree
dinner.
how
Name
precious
5 women that you would hit.
5 women. They'd all be women who aren't women.
Oh, right.
No, just kidding. I would not.
Hey, women that aren't women are women. Okay, Everybody
women that aren't
fucking
women are
knows
women.
that.
I didn't
Piece
know
of
that
shit.
women aren't women are women.
Women aren't women.
Piece of
That
shit.
just made my head explode.
Yeah,
What
that's.
women I would hit.
And we're back.
Yeah, I don't know.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
He worked with you, did it? And he's concentrating.
He wants to know. Yeah, this is important.
Deep concentrated. This is a really good podcast so
Yeah.
far. Don't ruin it.
Casey begged me. He's like, please be funny this episode.
No, I didn't do that.
I don't think you have to hit women. You just do one of these.
I do a face palm on him.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah. But anyway, he didn't see the video.
Right.
Anyway,
No.
yeah. So he.
Oh, sorry. I
So
didn't
so
I
she
didn't mean to spoil
she
it for
hit
you.
his head when he's not looking, and he turned around and socked her in the face. Then he picked her up, and then he face planted her into the cement.
It was UFC style, bro.
That's-
Like
Yeah.
he picked her up,
Yeah.
turned her sideways, and
Yeah.
whoa!
Slam.
Like it was.
And then he got in the car and
Oh.
left.
What was the like overall consensus as far as like comments?
No, here's the best
I haven't seen
part.
him. I just
the
heard about
best
it.
part, the black guy that gets out later. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Yeah.
This other guy
Oh,
gets
the
out of the
helper.
car and walks over to the car just to be like, don't be getting out of your car, stupid. Like,
Nice.
not even to help.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't see that
Tell her
one
how
yet. That
stupid she is
Yeah.
for getting body slammed.
I
Like,
didn't-
she's already got a concussion.
I didn't see that one yet. The
And they're
af-
like, don't
the-
be getting out of your car.
I didn't see that one yet. The aftermath. I saw the video right under.
That's
Right.
like the
Aftermath.
you know how there's like always a magical black guy in every movie? That's like him. He's like the
oh,
magical.
like in The Shining.
yeah.
Oh,
He's like,
the
he,
Shining.
Whoa, don't.
The magical black. I think he gets killed.
There's a-
Yeah. All right, we can't have a fucking lulls.
Okay.
You see that fucking half a second?
Yeah, we need to
can
make
do-
a phone call.
Everyone will die if there's no just constant stream of words. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
It's not like real life where you could just relax for a second and enjoy it. Not here. You got to just
it's a pressure
frenzy. Just a frenzy. Oh, you wanna call?
Yeah, let's call.
All right. All right.
Don't you have to do it on your phone?
Yeah.
And you just put it on speaker?
Yeah.
He's not going to answer.
I find
But
it
I
funny
wanna-
that he wants to be anonymous. I've never known anybody who's so willing to be seen and heard as offensive and
Yeah.
what the fuck ever.
Who are you speaking of? John Fanning? Is that who you're talking about?
I don't know.
The shadow.
Oh, the Shadow.
Yeah. I think it's because he's like trying to make his life. You know, they have those like anonymous internet troll people. Like he's trying to make his real life that.
All right. So he really is thinks a lot about his image. He's really worried about. I know he has a terrible image, but for some reason he thinks he
Yeah.
should worry about his image. But I just want to, while he's on, pretend like you don't know it's John Banning.
Yeah, okay.
But right before he comes on, like now, you can say the
Yeah.
fucking douchebag.
That's
is about to
fucking
come on.
dumb piece of shit.
Dude, him and me were sitting at a table one time at the 907, and Nate Jackson comes in, and there was just an empty seat. So Nate Jackson comes and sits with me and John Fanning, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that guy that we're not supposed to.
no, we're yeah.
Jesus Christ.
We'll edit the name out when we figure out how to edit.
Anyways, he comes and he sits down, and then when his turn comes,
Hel- Hi. May I speak to the Shadow? Chris, otherwise known as the Shadow. Hey, Chris.
Bring it closer to the mic. Put it on it.
Put it right up to the mic.
I'm
Hey,
sure it's
Chris.
gonna kill Tony. You put it right on the tip of the
Welcome to the Random Hacks podcast.
Is this the Casey Judson, Rob Conroy?
Are we picking him
Yeah,
up? pretty
you're on
good?
the air.
Happy Fun Time Hour. Well, thank you for having me on, Casey.
You're welcome. How'd you know it was me?
Because you, I don't know, you announced yourself.
Say hi to Rob Conroy and Andrew Harter.
Andrew.
Hi, guys.
Or did I
Hey,
say your name wrong? Andy Harter.
I
So,
think
Chris-
my mouth is getting fatter.
Chris, how
Huh?
do
I think my mouth is getting fat.
Your-
Blah, blah.
Is your
My
mouth been
mouth
eating
is
too?
getting fatter.
you?
You been eating a lot or something, or what's going on?
Oh, no, it's just, I think it's age. Like, I'm just.
It's
so
AIDS?
many Words. I'm like, blah, blah, blah.
You have AIDS?
You have AIDS?
Huh?
Is Chris a black gay man?
They're concerned that you have AIDS.
I have AIDS. I
Oh.
have it.
Oh well, I'm
It's
sorry to hear
pretty
that.
bad.
I'm sorry to hear that,
don't-
Chris.
I don't take the medication. I have lesions.
Legions
I have
of
sex
fans?
without condoms.
I can't hear too well.
Legions of fans.
I have
Oh, he said
sex.
I have
I have
lesions.
sex with
Lesions.
You have sex.
Lesions on them. Oh, sorry.
condoms.
Oh, what happened to your condoms?
I refuse to wear them. They're uncomfortable.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
How many
They got
children
that-
do you
they
have?
got that prep. So if they don't want to get AIDS from me, they should take prep. That's
Yeah.
what I tell them. That's what I tell them after I come in them.
Oh no. Oh, this is a family friendly show. John,
We do
please.
actually say it's
I
okay
come
for
in- I
kids.
come in
Yeah, okay for-
prostitutes without condoms.
Oh no. Oh.
I have HIV.
If you don't wear condoms, that is okay.
Hey,
for
did you
kids.
see the viral video? Traffic incident in Toledo. It's a really good one.
Viral video. It's a literal viral video.
Oh yeah, I think it's viral.
Oh,
yeah.
because of the
So
AIDS.
I
Get
can't
it?
See, is Andy Harter on?
Andy Harter is on. He's right here.
Is he thinner? Is he
He's thin and healthy looking.
Yeah.
Look
I heard-
very
I heard
good.
he's-
They're looking
I heard
good.
he's on
He has
a,
AIDS too.
He's on a
He's got
a
AIDS
journey
too.
to get thinner.
Huh?
Been doing wonders.
I heard he's on a journey to get thinner.
Well, he's
He's
on his
a
way
weight
somewhere.
loss. He's on Ozempic.
I'm on a
He's
journey to
working-
get
he's
paint
taking the
thinner to
Ozempic.
huff.
Rob's on a journey to get paint thinner, to huff it.
Rob's on a journey to smoke more meth.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on a journey. No, that starts when the
He's
podcast's
on
over.
a journey to get higher than anyone's ever.
After we get out of here,
I'm gonna
you'll
get
walk
higher
in-
than God.
Yeah. Can you hear us? Okay? Can you hear everybody?
I can hear you.
Oh, you can't hear anyone else. Yeah,
I
that's
can hear, no.
how disappointing for you.
Huh?
How disappointing for you. That's not
Well,
good.
thank you guys again for having me on your podcast.
Oh,
How do you
this
feel?
is it?
How do you
Oh.
feel about feminism?
You got more questions for you. We're not done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, put it on there. Put it
Just
on-
you
put it on the
read the
phone.
message. How do you feel about feminism?
Rob Conroy wants to know, how do you feel about feminism?
I think it's ran its course. It's ran its course.
Good answer.
I think everything more or less is a fad. I don't think there's anything that's like here to stay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think.
What about
everything's
yogurt?
a fad.
What about herpes?
What about yogurt? I'm not getting
herpes
rid of-
sticks around?
Oh yeah, herpes. Yeah.
Herpes is a fad.
Yeah, it is kind of. You're right. It's like here one day, here the next.
Trending.
yeah,
I heard
Here one day,
Go
here
around.
every day. Yeah. Spreading.
I heard crabs is like they don't have crabs anymore because people shave their pubes off or something.
All right, that's a good point. But what I want to know is this
All I
is.
have to do is shave my pubes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you got to.
That seems like a lot of work.
Woo!
That seems like a lot of work.
Cancel that.
All I
doctor's
want to know
appointment.
is, since you're on the Random Hacks podcast, who is your favorite hack?
Wait, what's it called?
Random Hacks podcast.
Random Hacks podcast.
Yeah, hacks. Have you heard of a hack? It seems like you would be familiar with a hack.
Random Hacks podcast.
You haven't heard of the word hack as a comedian?
Are you expecting people to say that or just think it?
I just want to know who do you think is a
You
hack?
just beat them to the punch.
What about Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
Hacksaw Jim
Remember
Duggan.
him?
Everyone. I
The
think we're
wresler with
talking
the
all hacks.
2x4?
Yeah, he was
You weren't
badass.
even born.
Yeah.
I remember him barely. Yeah, but my memory sucks.
He'd get in a 3-point football stance and then he'd like tackle people. That was his special. His flying elbow smash was like a 3-point.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I only watched the
He's
Mexican
kind of
one.
retarded.
I should have a fucking wrestler on here.
Holy
Wouldn't that be
shit.
awesome? Would you like to be on with a wrestler on?
There's like so many
Can I
prostitutes right here
wrestle him?
on a roll.
Oh, can you come in right now with a prostitute, by chance?
I wish. You want me to?
Yeah, we'd totally love a
Yeah,
prostitute.
someone with some hoes.
I know, they're everywhere.
That's what you guys need to have on your show is just prostitutes, like a prostitute every week.
So actually, I think that there's like a psyop going against me because I've like been hooking up with this chick and she lives on Aurora, like right kind of by where we used to.
All right, thanks for calling in, John.
Chris.
Oh, sorry. Thanks, John Banning was on the show. Thanks for calling in, John.
Are
All right.
you hanging up on me?
No, not necessarily. That's how you're supposed to do.
I want to hear Rob's prostitute.
I got a lot of callers. I got
so
a lot
on
of
my
callers.
way to like hook up with this chick. She's like not ugly, not hot. She's just like a regular girl. And but all the like from the point outward to like by her house, the hookers just get hotter and hotter. And there's like 3 hot ones. And I feel like it's like a test. Like
Oh,
because I'm
right.
just like I could just stop and buy one of these hotties,
Oh no!
or I can like fuck this like, you know.
Did you show loyalty to your whore?
She makes muffins for me. So
Oh.
Show every week.
Rob also wants to have a hooker on every week, and
Have sex with her.
I'm in the minority vote of I don't want to stink up this lovely studio with a disgusting whore flesh.
there's a shower in the.
Is there?
with a prostitute every week on your show.
Oh, okay.
Guaranteed people would start watching.
Okay, well, that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Your
Thank you,
your
Chris.
talent is not sufficient. You need prostitutes that people can't even touch to have on the show to make it
Well, it would be like
successful.
Howard Stern.
Yeah, oh yeah, Howard Stern, you're right. Yeah.
Like, can you put a ping pong ball in your asshole?
Oh my lord, okay.
You know what? I've realized as I'm getting towards the end of my creative career here, is that I've accomplished nothing and I have no talent. So I have to do.
Wow.
I have to go to the extreme.
That's very self-aware.
Yeah, you do. What are you gonna do? You gonna start killing people or what? What are you
I
gonna?
have to start doing something because it's not going to happen otherwise.
You know, you need to just get on more
And it
podcasts.
probably won't happen otherwise anyway.
Have you been working on your manifesto?
Yeah.
I'm going to work on my manifesto.
Right.
I'm gonna, you know.
How come every one of those guys has a manifesto? Isn't that weird? Like, if I was going to kill a bunch of Jews or something, I would
Yeah.
just do it. I wouldn't write a book about it.
Also, this place is an editing. This place has an editing feature that you can pay for, but they also help people with their manifestos. They actually have it. So if you come in,
I'm going to have sex with a prostitute on your show next week because I'll do that.
If you write a manifesto about it.
I know my dream is to watch John Banning have sex with something. That's always something I've always wanted. Just thought about a lot.
Sex in the background
You mean
with a
Chris?
prostitute.
Yeah, just
That would be funny.
right. We're talking back.
If you guys had if you had two people having sex in the background of whatever you guys are talking about,
Right.
No,
Like,
there's a
everyone's
show.
laughing.
watch.
Everyone's laughing. I guess we could put it on the screen.
Have
Technically.
intercourse happening somewhere in your studio.
Instead of 5 minutes of stand-up, we could do 5 minutes of, like finger banging.
Yeah, just have like some disgusting sexual acts.
Yeah, but right now you're kind of upstaging our guest we have on. So
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, well, thanks again for letting me. Thanks again for having me on, guys.
Thank you, The Shadow.
Later.
thanks, The Shadow. Wow, that was great.
So if I may,
Yes, sir.
me, the Shadow, Nate Jackson, right? So
Orgy.
No,
so-
this is a story that happened.
Oh.
So I go do my set, and then Chris goes up and does his set. So I'm sitting at this table, okay, me and Nate Jackson, and this guy that was sitting with us is on stage, and he goes, so I'm like a Trekkie, like a big Trekkie, you know, and the old Star Trek though. He goes, not the new one. Too many black people. And then just comes and sits down at the table with us. I'm like, good job. And he goes, what?
He didn't.
Were you there at
Nothing, I
Cannabis
guess.
City
He didn't.
when you got in a fight with the audience? There's like,
Actual fight?
it wasn't an actual fight. They were about to fight him though.
Oh, where was this?
He goes to Cannabis City and he's like,
oh.
I just really want to own black slaves.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
You know what? He's
Hence
right
his
though.
thing about going to the extreme because he has no creativity. Like
Yeah.
what he doesn't have in creativity, he definitely makes up in balls.
Definitely.
Whether
Definitely.
that's a good thing or not, I think is maybe.
I will say
debatable.
I think he's right when he says he gets enjoyment when he gets enjoyment of the reaction of just the utter like over the top reaction people have to the word.
Right.
Like it's just
Yeah.
oh my god, I heard that word.
Yeah.
You really
Well, especially
wanna-
coming from him, like, you know what I mean? Like if he was like a good looking young
Yeah.
guy, he might be able to get away with it. But
Oh
like,
yeah.
when you look like the Shadow and then you also speak like the
Yes.
Shadow.
Yes, he is.
That's the thing
He's
is
the
that
best. He's
I
the
kind of
fucking-
wish sometimes I had that kind of balls. I really do. It's just that like when I bomb, it like hurts me deep inside. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Like, and not only
Yeah.
it's like, and because of my style of comedy, like the way that it is, I feel like they either, you know, they laugh and they think it's funny, or they're like, that guy's a fucking asshole, and I'm not laughing at anything he says for the rest of his set, no matter what, because he's
Yeah.
a dick.
Oh,
And-
yeah,
and I
yeah, yeah.
feel I can't handle it.
Isn't that
You know
weird
what I
though
mean?
that people their behavior makes people not like them, but all they really wanted to is just to be liked.
Yeah, it's because they don't.
But they can't
believe-
just be likable.
They don't
'cause being
believe
likable
that,
is
yeah.
being likable is lame.
They don't,
It's
well,
lame
also-
to be
yeah.
likable,
They
just
don't
to be
believe
outwardly.
They can be likable, so they just decide to be an asshole so that they can tell themselves. like,
Yes, right.
yeah, nobody likes me, so I might as well be an asshole.
So when I do stand up, rarely now, but when I do it,
Yeah.
I always think every time I do it, I'm like, I want them
So
to
this
think.
is a safe space.
I want them to think that I'm someone who does not give a shit if anyone likes me, because that's exactly the person that I'm not,
Yeah.
and that I never could be. That I just wish I could be. I just can't, when I'm on stage for that whatever time that is, I want to be this fake person.
That's actually a good transition for when I first saw Andy Harter. Was what was that bar in Ballard on 15th? That
Ballard Bros.
No, water wheel.
water
Oh,
wheel.
the
Yeah,
water wheelie.
there was this big fight, and then Andy goes up, and people were still like very mad. Do you remember that at all? Like it
probably
was
will if
it was
you
when
talk
it was when that dumb bitch. She was like Rachel Durpa. And there was like
With
a big
Keon.
fight, and Keon and everyone was like,
Keon
Keon
was
called
going
him
off.
a sweater faggot. And then then there's a big fight, and then you came up, and then you were saying something or commenting on it, and then they're like, they said something I forgot. They're like, we hate you or whatever, and you're like, look at my eyes. Do you think I care?
Okay, yeah, I remember all of that now. Yeah, because there was this the chick that was just popping off for no reason.
That was the beginning of the
it wasn't
beginning
Keanu,
of the end of the water wheel.
Wasn't the guy that Keanu was about to fight? He was like he had like a mullet and like a mustache, this white trash look, and I guess he'd call him a racist, and he's like, "Don't you fucking call me a racist!" Like, that's what we're talking about. Yes, and I do remember.
Yeah, and that was that because there was that Rachel Derpichick, and she would heckle everybody too.
Oh,
like if you were a man, like if you're a girl, she'd be like, "You go, girl." But if it was any like if it was a man, basically, she was like.
Speaking of random hacks, it's funny who passes through comedy and does like 4 sets, and they make a legend of themselves, and they're like. They did comedy for.
She was amazing.
They did for 10 days. They were on.
Time to get headshots.
Yeah.
Time to spend $200 in headshots. I've been to 5 open mics.
Oh yeah. Oh hey, by the way, speaking of, we're gonna do that in the podcast version of that, which is talk on the podcast like we'll get people to go to your show. Because that's you.
I'm headlining.
You're headlining
comedy so next Tuesday.
Yes, he's headlining.
Yeah. Would you like to give any plugs?
Anymore. Yes.
Andy Harter, what plugs do you want to?
I want you to get a glimpse of what this power is like that we don't have now, but we will have when you could talk and 100 people will go to the thing because you said to go. Doesn't that feel exciting? You know.
Can we get back to this thing you mentioned a second ago when you were talking about like. Going up and like being like the person you could so I'm not gonna name names, and you guys are probably gonna know who I'm talking about, but please don't blurt out his name.
Okay.
There's one comedian in particular where like every time he gets up, he rarely does any comedy with being like, nobody's ever gonna fuck me and I'm lonely and sad and everything sucks, and then he'll get like this sort of like courtesy laugh sometimes because people will kind of identify it, but it's always sort of like down and sad. And anyway, I was talking to him one day about it. And I was like, listen, man, you can do whatever you want. I have no say and I can't tell you what to do or anything, but you can be anybody you want up there. You don't have to take your shitty, sad life up there. You could be like, hey, I'm a big shot and I get laid all fucking time. And then who knows? Maybe you will some fucking day.
Yeah.
Because somebody will see you and be like, hey, he's not a loser, So, I was just telling him, I was like, listen, like, do whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you what to fucking do, but, like, your shit is a downer. And I also feel like it's perpetuating your life off stage.
Sure.
Like, it's like you bring it on stage and you bring it off stage, and then everything's just like, and I don't know. We're trying to make people laugh,
Who's
and
that
he's funny, by the way.
Yeah.
And he says funny things all the time.
Sure.
He's a good comic, but, like, a lot of his shit is just so sad, and and the thing is that when I've talked to him about it, he goes, yeah, lots of people have been saying that, and I've been ignoring all of them, all right, well,
and we're back.
Yes. Be right back. We're gonna keep it right there.
It's funny as you're saying that, I was like, okay, well that guy's like that, then there's another guy who's like that.
There's a lot.
So maybe you don't know what I'm talking about.
I know.
Well,
I know
good. I want this to be a
him.
little ambiguous.
Yeah,
I don't want to run into him later and be like, I saw your fucking podcast, asshole.
Oh.
And I'm still going to talk about not
I'll
getting
have him on
pussy.
next week because of course he'll come on.
Yeah.
Because he's,
Because he doesn't come on anything except for a towel.
You're right, though. That is kind of, it does perpetuate. You know what it made me think of? Hannah Gadsby.
I know she is, but I haven't.
That big bull-dyke lesbian who was very popular. But one of her bits on her thing was that when you do a lot of bits about not liking yourself, what you do is you're just kind of perpetuating it. You're supposed to be self-effacing. What you do is abusing yourself for the group.
Well,
Whatever
it
the group
can be
is.
funny. There are self-deprecating comedians that are funny.
100%.
Yeah.
Conan O'Brien, it's all he does.
Yeah.
But you know what? I kind of get sick of it too. I mean, he's one of the greatest.
Yeah,
comedians
especially
of all times. But sometimes, like, is that all you have?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, when you're like a 6'5", well-proportioned, good-looking guy who's got $1 million job.
Well, you know
and
he's
you work.
fucking-
You know what I mean? Yeah. So you know they're not a loser.
Yeah.
So it's hard to come off as a loser when you're like
Yeah.
funny, successful, intelligent. You have everything going for
Yeah.
you basically. But you can still have self-hate though, I guess. So nothing can get rid of that, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no wrong way. If they're laughing, they're laughing. You know what I mean? It's just that the guy I was mentioning a minute ago, whenever he goes down that sad road,
Everyone
it
gets sad.
quiet.
Yeah.
It does. It just does.
It's kind of like when I would go too far and talk about like suicide, and then people are like, "Oh, this guy actually could die tonight."
Yeah. Oh boy, that's dark.
And we're back.
We are back, and we never left. How you doing tonight? If you need any
If you need any women to hit,
sound effects or anything, explosions.
yeah, boink.
Huh? Oh yeah, you just out of the blue. You're like this. I'm earning my money.
We-
Boing, boing, boing.
I don't get any pussy. Boink. So stupid.
Ah, damn. God damn, it sucks. I'm gonna have to edit out the name Bruce DeTore. You know what I mean? That's what really. It's okay. I can.
Opening for me Tuesday,
Oh, is
February
he?
4th.
Is he?
Yeah,
Oh, nice. That's awesome, man.
I like Bruce a lot. He's a good
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I like
And
him.
I hope he can fuck something.
And not
Other,
just
I hope
'cause
he
we
can
have
fuck
to
something
say
other
that
than his.
because of all the shit we just
I hope he
said.
can fuck something
Yeah.
other than his dog one day.
I know from seeing him wherever I go all around that if I have him on as a podcast guest, we won't have to do anything.
Yeah, we could have, dude. If we had Bruce DeTore, that'd be 3 bald dudes in a row,
Oh, yeah.
white
Well,
bald guys.
And as long as we've fucking outed him now and I've talked all this shit, let me also say that if you go to an open mic, he's there.
Yeah,
true.
No
Yeah.
matter where,
Yeah.
no matter
Yeah.
what day. Like,
Yeah.
he works super
He's solid,
hard.
yeah.
Harder than I do.
Yeah.
By a lot.
The only thing that works harder than Bruce DeTore is his vehicle. That thing is really freaking working. You know what I mean? He's everywhere. He's like, I was just down in New Orleans, and then I was up in Vermont. There was a mic up there in Vermont.
yeah.
I had to hit it
There's
up.
a mic in a Taco Bell bathroom.
Yeah, I was in Nicaragua.
Well, and that's what James said about Hans Kim back in the day. He was like,
Yes.
you went to a mic, Hans Kim was there.
Yep.
All of them.
Yes.
If you went to every mic, you'd see him at every single one every
Yep.
time.
Yep.
So,
And then some other comedians were like, I didn't need to go there because I'm funnier than Hans Kim. I didn't need to go to that mic. I could just sit home and be funnier than Hans Kim.
Or you can, yeah.
yeah, we'll have to take your word for it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Who else do you like? Who else is a hack, Rob? You haven't been out there lately. Who do
Yeah.
you- who do you
Are we
hate?
talking about Seattle hacks?
Just anywhere, any in the world?
Is it okay if I talk about people I like?
Yeah,
Is
of
that
course.
okay? Okay.
Yes.
I don't want to be mean all the
Yeah,
time.
you don't have to be mean.
You know who
Yeah.
Gavin Howells is?
Not exactly.
That kid's going to be a star.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
He's only like 23. He's only been doing like 2 years. He's better than me. And that's not even me saying I'm so good. I'm just saying I'm 8 years in. He's 2 years in. He's better than me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I wouldn't tell it to his face, but like he's a killer.
Is he
And
better
he's
than
like-
Max Nelson? Seriously, when you talk
Max
about
Nelson is just too cool for
yeah.
comedy.
Well,
no, he
Max
was. He had the talent, but
He's
he's like
too cool.
I don't want to
Max
do it.
Nelson was inconsistent. That
Yeah.
was the thing. Is
Yeah.
that he was like the funniest guy in the room, and then sometimes he wasn't funny at all.
Yeah.
Gavin, like he's a hard worker. He goes
okay.
to all the mics, and I don't know. His writing is solid, and he's and he's humble too. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
okay.
when you're like, hey, you're good. He's like, oh man, thanks. You know, like he doesn't deserve it.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
So he's
So
like
if I-
he's like not like Brandon
So
White.
let me ask you a question. If I were to clip out all the nice things you just said about him, and then that was like on something he could see on the show, would you be proud of that, or would you
I wouldn't
would
care, but I mean, I've said way more nice shit to his face already. So
Oh
it
really?
doesn't
Oh,
matter.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
wow, that's awesome,
Yeah.
man.
Just because I've been at some of the same shows and some of the same things, and he's one of the guys that makes me laugh like uncontrollably, like like
fucking hate
getting
this
out of
guy.
breath.
I hate this.
Yeah.
Please laugh
Who
at
else?
me,
I
Andy.
feel
No,
like
just
there's
kidding.
another person too that I'm thinking.
Where
of.
do you normally see this fella at?
Tacoma. He
Oh,
works
okay.
at the small.
I got to start going down to Tacoma because
Yeah.
it seems like
Yeah.
everybody.
We're
funny-
missing a show there right now, the Bully Show or whatever.
Oh, literally every week I'm like, I should start going down there.
Hey, speaking of hacks, have you seen Maceo on Kill Tony?
Oh, I only heard about it. I didn't see it.
Oh. Woo! Speaking of naming names, now we're gonna have fucking beef.
Oh
You
God.
want to pull up the video of the Maceo?
The Toledo car accident.
Yeah, and they were mean to him. Like they didn't pull any punches. They're like, that sucked. You know.
Yeah. Well, they don't tend to do that. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's the other guy you're about to say?
I don't know. I feel like I just feel like there's another like up and comer over the last couple of years that like I was
Okay.
like, wow, like for being so new, you know, they've come a long way.
Oh, fuck.
Well, and I mean, I guess just to fill the air while we're talking about good comics, you know Bo Blast at all? So he does this thing called Haha Tuesdays at 6th and Proctor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard
And
about
those
that.
shows are the fucking shit.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
they're the
I heard he's
shit.
black.
Yes, he is.
That's how much I
Oh.
know about it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and like a lot of black comedians, super high energy, just and like I don't know, he does more than just comedy. Like he's a performer.
Tap dancing?
You know what I
You
mean?
tap dancing?
No, I'm just saying,
Oh,
like
yeah.
he gets up there and he doesn't just talk into the microphone. He's moving around and he's loud and
Oh, okay, cool.
he does like these, like he does this thing I've seen a couple times where he puts on like the whitest song he can find. He has the DJ play like this
Oh,
really
shit.
white song, and then he gets everybody to sing along like, this is white people shit.
Like
I don't
Katy
know.
Perry.
Oh, like
You'd have to see it,
like
you know?
Pat Boone doing Pat Boone doing Little Richard. You ever heard that? Wop bob baloo wop blop bam boom tutti frutti.
This is a real
Oh,
thing?
Rudy. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You know what would be a really good white person song is like some shit from like the 1910s where they're just like talking about coons and stuff.
Raccoons?
Yeah, raccoons in the dumpster stealing white women.
Oh no. He didn't laugh. Some people got damn decency.
Yeah.
You know what
No,
I
I
mean?
probably would. I was trying to think of who else. I don't know. Like I said, I had somebody in the back of my mind that was like kind of new and like surprisingly good.
That was a good Max Nelson pull, though, huh? Out of the blue.
Yeah.
Because Max Nelson was somebody who could have been a great comic, but he's like, fuck it, I could do lots of good things good. He's like doing some other things. He's like, he didn't have, I don't think he really had the interest in it. Plus, it is a lot of work.
Well, I think it's hard too because he was getting banned from places and stuff, and that is like very, like you just have to. I mean, I can't even speak for myself, but you have to like push through that,
Yeah.
and like it can get you.
Every time you tell me you get banned from something, I'd be like, yeah, like good
Yeah,
for you,
yeah.
buddy.
Yeah, I think he. I don't know. I mean, you can't get inside someone's head, but I think he really didn't like writing and all that kind of stuff. Writing stuff down, or just like all the details, you know, that go into doing comedy. You know,
All the details, writing,
Well, it's-
talking into a microphone.
right? I don't know. It's
Well,
No, I
here's
know
the
what you
thing.
mean.
I had a
Yeah.
conversation with him about it one time that I felt like gave some real insight on this. He was like, I'm funnier than like most of these fucking people, and I was like, oh, I mean, yes and no. I mean, like at your best, 100%. But like, I wouldn't say you're better in the sense of like consistency and always being funny, because sometimes it's like awkwardly bad. And I guess all I'm saying is it seemed to me like, and this is something I think all comics go through, all of them, is that you see people that you think are less deserving. And
Yeah.
they get opportunities instead
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah.
And you're like, this fucking sucks. But some of us just have a healthy acceptance of it. And some of us are like, fuck this shit, I'm quitting comedy, you know? And it's too bad, but maybe you didn't want to be a comedian that bad.
It does force
But, I
you
mean,
to
if
deal
you did
with
want
your.
to be a comedian that bad, it's a shame that he let a little thing like that get in the way.
Well, you know, you have to assume people didn't want to do it. You know, obviously, there's there's other things to do in life.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
and you know, a lot of the reason people get booked is because they're good at that part, you know. And I don't even try. Like, I mean, most of the bookings I got, if I've been approached, they're like, "I saw you, I thought you were funny, and I want you on my show." And I'll tell you one thing, I kind of don't like it that a lot of people get booked just because they were in the room when the conversation took place, or they're friends with, you know, whoever.
Yeah.
You know, and You know, I mean, I suppose maybe some.
I got booked a bunch of
jealousy
because
or
I'm
whatever, but I think that's the reason you should get booked. Is not that you're good at getting booked. Is you're good at comedy.
Do you think a
yeah.
booker?
Or if you're a
recognized for that.
bisexual black person, you should also get booked. No matter
I think
what.
so. I think so. Yeah. What also? Do you think bookers and bookies all hang out at the same place, or like bookworms and like just people involved with books?
I think it's kind of a broad statement.
Because it's this mysterious people. Like, how do I get to bookers to know me and get to know the booker? I try to talk to Deist Casillas now once in a while. You know what I mean? We'll be talking and I'll say, hey, I like your cover of your comic, you know? And then he asked me to send him a video, you know, and then we were talking and we can't get around to talking about anything about comedy. You know what I mean?
Did you talk about books?
You know, like, yeah, we're mostly talking about books.
What's
and
your
stuff.
favorite book?
Yeah.
Mine's The Good Book.
You know, I feel like after a while I'm going to make him laugh a lot of times, and I'm going to be like, he's like, hey, do you know anybody who can do this gig? And I'm like,
not you.
Can you can you recommend a few people?
Yeah,
do you know
any good?
Do you know any comics?
That'd be funny.
Yeah, a shot in the
So
dark.
what happened to your how did you end up failing so bad at comedy? When did you?
Oh, I just got banned from the Shanghai room, and then I went on I just got mad. Then I started posting a bunch of like really.
You have so much talent and
intense-
charm and everything necessary, everything.
I mean, I'm doing a podcast,
You're
right?
still
It's a baby
alive.
steps.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, it's not like you fell down.
I did.
You got to be on a
yeah.
podcast with me. I'm a
Yeah.
giant.
I did
know?
a show, my first show in like 8 months. It was just that tapped out show, but it was a show.
That's awesome. I wish I
Yeah.
would have saw that actually. You know.
And I actually went up. It was funny. I went up with all new material that I made up like before I even like without doing comedy, and it went pretty well for doing that.
Do you have a clip on it? Oh, by the way, that'd be awesome.
I might actually
put up
Steven
a
might have
clip of
filmed
your
it.
own comedy.
Yeah.
Now that you have a podcast, you
Yeah.
can just go, look what I did. You know, because someone else might not put it. Now now we kind of are like a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
If you think about it, we can kind of control who makes it and who doesn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Of course we can't, but wouldn't that be cool though?
I have a podcast and I still can't get any pussy.
I can go. Yeah. That's not,
I regret bringing that up now. I really like him. He's a
I
good
feel
guy.
bad. That could actually hurt his feelings too, because he's like he can get. There's a few
Yeah,
things.
he doesn't need any more
Oh yeah.
criticism.
I thought you were talking about Daryl.
I've never talked about Daryl in my entire life.
That's who I thought you were talking about just at first, because he does the same thing. I'm a fat piece of shit. I'm a marshmallow.
Really?
Yeah, it's worse than the other guy.
Okay,
He's
what's worse? Somebody doing what we're talking about where they're very self-deprecating, or someone who's very clearly ugly with like overconfidence. They're like, I'm a badass.
No, those guys are awesome. They get all the pussy. There's not actually, you know, Bonnie McFarland, the comedian. She's married.
Rich Voss's
Yeah, she said the thing that made me like Rich Voss was that he was ugly, but he thought he was the shit. Like he was like, "What's up, girl?" Like.
Yeah.
And he's like short and fucking ugly nose, and he's like the least funny of the group of comics. Who are all, of course, funny.
Yeah.
And she was like,
He's
I
successful anyways.
She was like, I
He's
immediately liked
legendary
him.
for being funny off stage, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing about him.
No, I
is
like him.
He's
I like-
well known for being like one of the funniest people when you're hanging out.
Yeah. He could rip. He is a tough guy. You know what I mean? A tough guy. You know Rich Voss at all? Have you heard of that guy? Oh,
I've
yeah,
heard
New
the
York.
name,
One of the
yeah.
New York. Patrice O'Neill.
Yeah.
All those guys.
Yeah,
you know, the
Jim
tough
Norton,
crowd.
Yeah.
that.
Tough crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what's the guy? Colin Quinn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Colin Quinn. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, Bonnie McFarland is actually really, really funny for a lady. You know,
Yeah.
who's your favorite lady comic?
None.
None.
I was just
Amy
saying.
Schumer.
Good answer.
I was saying like so we were talking about this. I brought this up to Casey already, but my manager was like because he's like got excited. I'm doing a podcast and getting back into comedy, and so he's been talking to me about comedy. But then he brought up Nikki Glaser and how she did this like all women, like only women were allowed to go to the show, and it like pissed everybody off, and it would cause outrage or whatever. But I was like, they're doing a favor to the men, I think. Like. You don't want to go see Nikki Glaser with your girl on a date, so like, go ahead, honey, enjoy the show. I don't have to go now.
I think Nikki Glazer's funny as fuck. And you know what? When I said Amy Schumer, I'm actually not kidding. Like,
Oh, okay.
and people give me shit for it all the time. They're like, she's fat and she's ugly and she steals jokes. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean,
She got
I knew who she was before anybody else I knew who she was. I'm not saying I was the first guy ever. But so, and I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, like, watch like her first special that came out and tell me that's not fucking funny.
She was funny.
And tell me she wasn't hot.
She's
back
hot.
then
She's
because
very
she was
hot.
hot.
Younger and
She was hot.
thinner. And
Actually,
she
the
looked
reason
good.
why people say all of that is because she was an
I think-
immense smash hit.
Yeah.
She had a TV show that was a smash
I think
hit,
a lot of
and
my
she was
hate
hot,
for her is jealousy.
and she was really mean.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
over the top mean.
Yeah.
Like women can't generally always be mean. She
Yeah.
was really fucking mean.
And yeah, then as it makes it like if you look at this hot mean chick, it makes you feel bad. Cause
yeah.
you're like,
Then she got a little fat, and they're like, "Fuck you, bitch! You were never funny." They'll even say, "I love it when someone like Bruce Bennick was like, that bitch ain't never said nothing funny." I'm like, "Damn, Bruce knows comedy. Goddamn, this guy's the guy to go to for comedy."
I actually like a lot of female comics. I'm trying to think of another one.
Anyway, if you ever have a chance to listen to Bonnie McFarland, she has like a 30-minute, one of those 30-minute specials that people came out with. Back in the day, they were on Comedy Special, and I was like, "Oh, this is really excellent." There's just something about her. She seems to like raising kids. Raising Rich Voss's kids more than being a comedian. But she was really funny.
Whatever happened to Lisa Lampanelli? Remember?
Oh yeah,
She's just like, I love black cocks in my.
I was just
giant
gonna say
asshole."
that's what happened to her.
Yeah, she was garbage.
Yeah, I know. All she just talked about was just really gross sexual
Yeah,
stuff.
everything was just shitty and mean and not humorous.
Yeah.
Which I guess people would say that about me.
You're the
You're the Lisa Lampanelli.
You're the
I
male
can't believe
Lisa
it accused
Lampanelli.
of that.
Oh
You're
man,
just shitty and mean and not funny.
you're like, all I do is fuck black women. That's all I do all day long. I thought she was kind of funny, but then actually funny as you were saying that, I was like, was she really funny, or she just have this persona that everyone? She just had this over the top.
Well, also, and then a part of the funny was like this fat disgusting bitch is like.
she's like, I am a fat disgusting bitch. You're right, Snoop
But I get a
Dogg."
lot of dick.
Yeah, a lot of black dick.
Miss Pat. Miss
Bob.
Pat's fucking funny.
Hey, don't forget Bob's calling.
Yeah, Bob just wants
Hey,
the
Bob.
fucking drugs.
Hey, Bob wants the drugs. Hey.
Either that or he's got drugs for me. That's
Oh,
what I
yeah.
get, too.
I like your DMT pen.
Sponsored
wait.
by. This is
Voss.
good shit, huh? Speaking of Voss.
That's spring water from my sister's farm. I just reused the.
Oh, okay.
Are you one of
I
those?
am
Do
very
you not
picky
drink
about-
tap water?
I mean, yeah, pretty much. It's not like, if I'm dying of thirst and that's all there is, I won't drink it. But
Yeah.
I drive to my sister's house about 3 times a year and get like 50 gallons of water from her spring and bring it back, and it's pretty much all I drink.
So how many podcasts have you been on?
Me?
Yeah. You been on a lot of 4? How does our
3 or
podcast
4?
measure up as far as the
I don't want
other
to know.
podcasts?
It's better than that last one you and me did with Robbie. That one was garbage.
Oh,
That was
yeah, he didn't like-
embarrassing.
you
I
know-
wish it didn't exist.
You know why that's so
Can we
bad?
pull
I was
it up?
thinking, yeah.
Yeah, let's see how bad and fat I was.
I was
back
thinking
then.
about that the other day, and I was thinking one of the reasons why you think it's so bad, other than it just being bad, like other reasons. But I was thinking it's also because when you're new and you haven't done a lot of podcasts and you don't know
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do,
Yeah.
and the guy's not leading you down any road. He's just like kind of there. He wasn't.
Plus, I got stoned and drunk,
Yeah.
thinking it was gonna make me more creative.
Yeah, yeah.
And that
Oh.
never fucking works.
I did
And
that.
I don't know why I thought it would.
I thought I felt I did okay on it, but
I
didn't
did that
feel
on I was on a Robbie podcast, me and him, and I thought if I did coke before, I would be funny, and I was just like kind of paranoid the whole time.
right.
And then it's Robbie, so he's doing like this weird stuff, and it was pretty bad too. It might be comparable or worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that John Banning that caller I had on? Did that come through in the?
Probably not.
Oh, it's probably all edited out, huh?
You know what it's like, because you're growing up, you're hanging around with your friends, you get drunk, you get
Yes.
stoned, you start
Yeah.
cracking jokes,
Yep.
and you're like, hey, being drunk and stoned
Yeah,
makes me
yeah,
funny,
yeah.
and maybe it did. On stage, that shit don't work, and I don't think it works on podcasts either. Like, anytime where you're on the spot, it just kind of shuts it all down. Really.
Yeah. Because you're not on the spot when you're with your friends and
Yeah.
stuff.
I think that you can find a perfect amount that can take
if I just do this perfect,
but it's a
dose-
very little
it's,
amount.
It's impossible to find that though.
But have you ever found it though? Like,
Yeah, on
where you got
ketamine.
the right amount of high.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so mushrooms, okay? When I was on Kiltony
You're
the
like,
second time, I took mushrooms about 4 hours before. Okay.
Oh.
And it was specifically because I've done mushrooms hundreds and hundreds of times in
Yeah.
really big doses, like a half ounce or more in some cases, okay? And I've noticed that as I don't know, after the peak is gone and I'm kind of like coming down a little bit, it puts me in this mode where when I'm with people, I'm a little bit more, you know, I'm a little more funnier and talkative and confident in a lot of things. So I did that before I went on Kill Tony the second time. And I mean, I got on the Secret Show on mushrooms, you know? So then I was hosting the 907 about 2 years later. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be hosting, you know, I'll take some mushrooms and all these little quips about everybody afterwards. And that might have worked, except that 2 minutes into my opening set, like 10 people walked in, okay? And all sat at that big table by the window, and they all just start talking, like, at the top of their voices all at the same time. Like, all of them. It was so overwhelming. And I tried to just, because, you know, in the past when that would happen, I'd be like, shut up, asshole. But
do you hear more when you're on mushrooms? Do you hear, you're sensitive? Are you more?
I don't know. I mean, there's too much going on to even answer that question, you know? I mean, but what I know is that, you know, I tried to, like, do a little, like, joke around with them, but, like, I don't know, it would work for a second, and then they just go back to being very disruptive. And then, what's-her-face went to go and take their orders, you know? And there's... And they're just ordering and they're being loud, and there's a bunch of Asians, and I go, how many fucking dumplings do you guys need to fucking order, you know, which nobody liked, and it made it awkward, and everybody was mad at me, as I deserved. You know?
I don't know.
But
that's a good...
it just put such a vibe on the whole thing that, like, the mushrooms worked against me all night after that. You know what I mean? All it did is make me crazy paranoid and crazy self-conscious. I felt like everybody hated me, and I think probably at least half of them did, you know.
That's interesting.
The waitress threw down her thing. She goes, racist, and throws down her pad and walks off.
Oh, no.
But
mushrooms are supposed to unite us. What is happening?
The thing, though, is I will say that the end result of that was those people got mad at me and left. And then the rest of the comics didn't have to deal with it. So
thank you,
that's
unintentional.
I mean, I did something right, you know what I mean? But
you're like Jesus.
It was embarrassing, and I felt bad about it for days after. I just like, oh man. In fact, when James went to pay me, I didn't take the money because I was like, I did a shitty job. And
wow.
Have you ever done this?
Damn.
Have you ever?
That's on the worst sets. What's the fucking show? The worst experiences. You know, fucking
like the.
My worst set ever.
Oh, okay.
There's versions of it. There's different versions of it, but there's a lot of them comedians. One of them I remember.
You're thinking of This Is Not Happening.
Yeah.
This Is Not Happening is kind of a longer version of the worst.
Yeah, it's not
possible
about the worst.
thing.
Yeah, the worst thing, but not the worst.
But that's
set.
not just the set.
Yeah,
but some comics do the worst set ever. One of them I've heard.
Yeah, mushrooms can give you the worst set and the worst sex. Because I took ketamine and mushrooms to enhance the sexual experience, and then I just kept thinking while I was fucking her that this is what animals do to make offspring, and I kept going soft. And then she asked me if it was, she's like, what's wrong? And I just said, nothing, I'm just a fag. That was my answer.
Write that down. That's pretty good. Wow, Jesus, that's awful.
I don't need to write it down. It's burned it in my memory.
Right, yeah. How could you
I'll never forget.
I like it when you say something that's like authentically sad, and then everyone finally just feels sad for a second. They can't even laugh because they're like, "Oh my god!"
Was like that guy,
I feel like I went through that.
Yeah.
Like I just.
No, that was
terrible.
bad.
Tony Cardoza. That's what I was trying to think of.
Oh yeah.
Killer.
Oh, you like that guy?
Well,
Very
you guys
confident.
Remember at the fucking party at my house?
Stud, muscles guy.
Everybody was talking about him, and then and then you guys weren't at the one at my friend Andrew's house on Halloween, right?
A little bit, yeah, I was a little bit.
Oh, that's right. You left like always.
Yeah.
Right before your set.
Yeah.
That's
when we do those, we go by audience vote. I just say anybody who wants to vote, send me a text, one name, I'll count them. Whoever gets the most wins. He got all the votes.
Oh yeah,
all of them. And not only that, but everybody that night killed, including Bruce DeTore.
Yeah, nice. Bruce DeTore.
Go on record.
Yeah. So I guess we're saying his name a lot now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went from
we're not
say it at all.
We'd be the bad in a like a touchy labor dispute or something like that, you know what I mean, or a negotiation. You know what I mean? We'd fold under questioning.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
I took truth serum before I got here, so I can't.
I like this already future guest to have on. What was the first kid you named that was funny?
Daryl Bivens.
No. Yeah, Daryl Bivens.
We're just undoing all the damage.
Have Daryl Bivens on.
No,
I like one
Gavin
thing.
Howells.
Gavin Howells.
Yeah,
Okay.
He works at 6 and Proctor. He's like a server.
Oh, okay. I like it there. I like it there.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say about Daryl Bivens is there's something that I do like about him is that he always consistently acts better than me every time he sees me, which I makes me respect him. I must be something I don't know.
Yeah.
He's got some kind of secret talent I don't know about.
I'm a sucker for confidence. I mean,
Yeah,
if
he's got
somebody
confidence.
says something to me, like somebody tells me like a fact confidently, I fucking start telling other people.
You know what I heard?
And then later on, they're like, I don't even think that's true.
You
And
know
I'm
what I
like, "Yeah,
heard?
just
If
heard
you
it somewhere."
if you
Sounded good.
want to state a fact, apparently people will believe it more if you say a specific day. So you're like, back in 1962, when the Wichita Council.
Oh yeah,
met.
details.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
you say a date, people are more likely to believe it on.
Add
on,
fake details on top of the details. Cover it with more
Yeah,
details.
no, not
Yeah,
too
yeah.
many details. though.
Not too many details. Yeah, you can get into politics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
That Haha Tuesdays that Bo Blast does.
Okay.
He's got a guy that's used almost there every week. He's like an African guy with like a really thick accent, but they keep describing him as the Mike Epps of Africa, or probably not Africa, but a country in Africa, wherever he's from.
Oh,
Yeah, he's funny as fuck too. He's really good, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of interesting to see this guy who's like a superstar in his own country, but he's an open micer here, but you can see how good he is. And
I heard Femi is a
What is he, straight out of
superstar
Zimbabwe?
in,
Straight out of
in
Zimbabwe. A fucking. Oh my God! Did I say the N word? I'm so
No,
sorry.
you almost did.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about
what's
that.
the N word?
So Jason
Najigba.
texted me today. He said he saw a guy in blackface, and then it turned out it was just a regular black guy. But
The normal way.
I was like, what if black people started wearing blackface to just destigmatize it?
Did
Oh,
you see
yeah,
the
yeah,
Jimmy
oh.
Fallon thing he got in trouble for?
What did he do? What did Jimmy Fallon
Well,
do?
he got in trouble. It was from a long time ago, of course, like it always fucking is. when it was okay.
Don't knock down our video, our high-tech video.
Sorry,
board.
go ahead.
But no, he went out, dressed like to look like Chris Rock, and then did like an amazing Chris
Oh, he
Rock
did?
impersonation. And it's like, well, if he wasn't in blackface, wouldn't that be weird?
Yeah.
A white guy going, "Hey, cracker." Here you go,
Smoke crack, got his job back.
Yeah, just with your white face.
They ain't gonna trust you around the Happy Meals.
Give him a Whopper. It's only 99 cents.
You said right. 99 cents.
You have to paint your face black to do that bit.
Yeah, that'd be. You're right. It'd be weird if you didn't.
I think
And then he apologized.
He has the body for
bitch.
it. The little weird, wiry little nothing
Yeah.
frame. You apologized. That's the worst.
I think
Yeah,
there should
I
be.
watched his apology. I watched half of it.
Nothing sadder than
I
the
had to
comic.
Shut it off.
Nothing sadder.
Who's
than
your
the
favorite
comic.
apology? I like what's his face?
Louis
Kramer. Michael. Yeah.
You talking only comics?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
My favorite's Louis. I did it. That's the best.
My favorite is Jimmy Swaggart. I've sinned against you, my lord. I had
And I'm gonna do it again.
I had
The
prostitutes.
minute you stop looking.
I let whores sit on my face. A lot of times. Jimmy Swaggart. But you didn't think his name would get mentioned on the podcast. That's
Yeah,
right.
It's a deep cut.
Yeah.
What's he doing nowadays?
Whores.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Like the David Hasselhoff of preachers.
Yeah, I guess he liked having prostitutes
Oh.
like stand over him while he laid on
What about
the floor.
TD Jakes? TD Jakes, the pastor, going and having gay sex at Diddy's house.
Oh no.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's apparently that happened.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, I
Good
wish
for
I could
him.
remember right now. You can't not remember stuff if you're on a podcast. It's like an ultimate faux pas.
That's all I do.
It's like
Fupa.
it's like you should not even have a podcast if you can't remember the
Yeah.
thing. But there was a dad, fat dad on the sitcom, like the fat
Carl Winslow?
yeah Winslow. And what's that actor's
Family-
name? Reginald Johnson. So the Winslow was at a Diddy party, and then
And Urkel showed up.
yeah, then Urkel showed up. Aristocrats. No, who the fuck was it? Somebody was saying they never get invited to a Diddy party. And then someone said, "Oh, I saw Winslow getting fucked by P Diddy in the broom closet." And then as soon as he saw, what did you first thing you saw when you saw that? I thought, God damn, Winslow got invited to a Diddy party. I couldn't even get invited to a Diddy party.
I like how Casey thinks he's more deserving of a Diddy party than Winslow.
Yeah, no, not me.
He's not famous. I fucking am.
No, not me. I was this some other actor that I
Yeah.
couldn't remember. I just did the
Oh.
yeah. I'd be lucky to be getting fucked in the ass by Diddy at a Diddy
by
party.
Diddy.
Although you would be kind of not lucky because you'd be getting fucked in the ass.
Yeah.
It's catch-22.
But you'd like. I wonder if all celebrities like share the same STDs like all through Diddy.
I believe they
Like,
do.
yeah.
There's like a long thing.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I was thinking
ST Diddy.
It might be. That's good. I was thinking it might be funny that if Diddy never did any of that, like it's literally possible. Oh yeah, there's this guy we know named John. You gotta meet him.
Not John Banning.
You gotta meet him. This guy's amazing.
He doesn't believe in anything. Like he thinks he doesn't think Diddy did it. He thinks like everything's just like like Illuminati type stuff. But like he thinks that 9/11 wasn't real at all. That the planes were fake. Like it was like nobody died in it. It was all just like a studio.
Yeah, he likes Hitler, but he doesn't really like what Hitler did because he doesn't think really Hitler necessarily did.
Yeah,
that.
he thinks Hitler's good, and because they lie to us about everything, so obviously they're lying to us about that.
Anyways,
And he has a Hitler
you're
mustache.
like, I know you're like, why do I care about this mentally?
Oh yeah, so yeah.
but he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's very nice.
Yeah.
What do you think of Elon Musk? How do we feel about that?
That's why I did
a
my
good
heart goes
question.
out to you.
Well, I guess because the thing is like, my initial reaction is just simply that I listen. I have the exact same problem with
We got like 1
calling
minute.
Trump a Nazi
1 minute.
as I do.
Alex?
Well,
1
maybe
minute.
we should make the best use of it then. Jesus Christ.
Okay. We're down to 5
We
minutes.
got 1 more minute. Let's interrupt you in the middle of your story.
Oh, sorry.
Jesus, fuck. What
Start
was I even
over.
talking about?
I was
Start
whispering.
over.
I don't remember what I was talking
Oh
about.
fuck! I wasn't listening because I was trying to tell
course you
Casey.
fucking were.
I was trying to tell Casey.
Elon Musk.
Oh yeah, Elon Musk. Thank you.
So I have the exact same problem with people calling Trump a Nazi as I do people calling Obama a communist. It's the exact same thing. And then Elon goes, hoo-hoo, and I'm like, fuck. Because he did it twice. He did it with this aggressive look on his face.
Yeah,
He
it did
looked,
seem-
"Ugh,"
yeah.
like, I'm not buying that it was. And then he went and did this thing about German culture, and it's okay. I mean, I'm not even saying I think he's a Nazi. I'm saying he's an
He's
idiot.
like yeah.
What kind of fucking moron does something like that?
I'll say that this is all I want to do is give some credit to Elon Musk for bringing back a new kind of Nazi, which is the cute little secretive Nazi, the little shy Nazi.
Yeah.
The one who's like,
That can't
if
look you in the
I
eyes.
do this little symbol or whatever, they might think I'm a Nazi totally. Like, and then you know what I could do is I could really be a Nazi the whole time, like a secret one that no one really knew about. Because like, okay, if Trump turns out to be a Nazi, personally, Trump voters like me, we should say my bad, sorry. Because he didn't say he was a Nazi. He never said once he was a Nazi. He said I wasn't a Nazi, like a bunch of times, over and over again. They mostly said they weren't Nazis.
Yeah.
But see, I don't know if you know about Hitler. Hitler was he wasn't very shy. He was kind of proud.
Outspoken.
He's kind of known for
For
his
the public.
Yeah.
But that's why I think we could wrap it up with one of John's favorite quotes. He said, "I hate that they call Trump a Trump Hitler because it's an insult to Hitler."
Okay.
That's the terrible way to end the show. Thanks for coming on,
Goodbye.
man.
We have 10 more minutes.
Sorry to fuck your story up, but great to have you on, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
We killed an
Like
hour.
I said,
All right.
speaking into microphones
Thank you, sir.
about my stupid
All right.
opinions.
Anything